Hello and welcome. We're back with William McKissock from Schooley Mitchell talking about expense savings and expense management and the impact it can have overall on your business. Before we get started, just want to remind everybody to take a look at the YouTube channel. Make sure that you like, comment, and certainly subscribe to this. If you want to share it with other people as well, that's amazing. But just do take a look at it. There are many videos that he and I have done together right now. He's also sharing other videos of where he's talking to various business owners inside the community and sharing their stories as well. So lots of value to be added inside of that piece. So definitely make sure that you take a look at the channel. And once you look at it, make sure you like, comment, and certainly subscribe to it to hear more from William. He's truly amazing and just an absolutely incredible speaker. So we're going to hear from William today, and I'm very excited to be here as always with you, William.
Well, thank you very much. And again, at the top of the show, I'll remind everybody what we do at Schooley Mitchell. We're North America's largest independent expense reduction company. The company itself is based in Stratford, Ontario. We've got over 220 offices across the country, mine being one of them. We go into businesses and we look for savings for them in specific categories: telecom, credit card processing, shipping, waste, e-signature, utilities, and fuel. Those are the categories. And the cool thing about what we do is that there's only two outcomes of working with us. We'll either confirm you've got the best prices and services for free because the audit doesn't cost any money, or we save you money. If we save you money, our fees are a share of those savings. So in a nutshell, that's what we do.
I love that you do those things. And I think that this is something that is highly undervalued in the business world. I think that businesses get so caught up and so focused on the other pieces of the P&L, but really digging into the expense pieces can make such a difference. And these 7 areas have never been more effective than they are today. And when we look at what's happening in the business world at this point in time, there are so many moving pieces, and to have an organization such as Schooley Mitchell that can help you monitor these pieces is absolutely incredible. And one of the many things I love about what you do is that you stay with a company for a number of years after they've become your client.
Yeah, and today you wanted me to share some success stories that we have with our clients. And obviously we stay on with our clients over a period of time, because if somebody does an audit for you, generally, if in business consulting, they give you the audit, whatever that audit price is, you're paying it when the report's on your table. We don't ask for anything when the report's on the table. We ask to be paid in installments, where we keep giving you audits. We give you an audit every 3 months. If you're a really large company, we'll do it every month. And that's just part of what we bring to the table for half of the savings. That's where we're finding the money, is half of the savings. So I've written down a couple of notes here for some of the savings that we've saved over the country, because we're one big happy family. There's over 100 people at headquarters, and there's franchisees all over the country. So we're all doing the same work with the same headquarters supporting us. So I wanted to share what's happening across the country. Then I'll share one of my deals here and how it came about. So in Missouri, we have one of our franchisees, one of our offices. They saved a client with 140 small locations and engineering space. They saved them $2,428,000 in telecom expenses.
Oh my word.
And that was finding lots of billing errors, lots of mistakes, and helping them tie everything together. Because it's not just about saving the money. We're looking at the service provision and can it be streamlined and can it be done better? And that's what happened with that particular office in Missouri. We have one in Pennsylvania, saved a manufacturer $39,000 for waste. And that was the starting category. Sometimes we come in and we do one category, and then the client sees what we can do, then they have more. So in this case, $39,000 for waste, and then went back to their telecom and saved them $18,000, and then went back and did the shipping. We are currently working with them, and we're looking at over $400,000 a year of a saving in the shipping. So that's an example. Again, Michigan. We saved a law firm more than $220,000 in their credit card processing. And I can tell you there, with the law firm, with that law firm, we've still to look at their waste costs. We've still to look at their shipping costs, because there's a lot of courier costs. So that's just one aspect of a law firm. Another one, here's a non-profit in Virginia. We saved $110,000 for saving for a non-profit with a wireless telecom. And I can also share a story for me for using these good stories from other offices across the country, because we're all one big happy family. We're all helping one another. I recently signed a very large medical group client. I can't name who they are. I can't even say how many offices they are, but there's several offices. And one of the ways that I was able to reel that client in, as it were, is to show the value of what we're doing in other areas. So I spoke to a couple of franchisees in another state. Again, I don't want to, because we have to look at the confidentiality of our clients. I shared a story of what happened with a similar sized client in another state, where they'd gone and look at just their telecom. They're now looking at the other categories, but just their telecom, they found them $1.6 million of a saving in their telecom. Again, they're tying a lot of pieces together that had fallen apart. They found them all that money. So I shared that story with a large group that I'm now working with. They signed with me, and it was because I shared that story. I let them see the value of what we do. So these stories I'm sharing with you from other franchise offices across the country, it's the same headquarters. They're using the same people I'm using at headquarters to find those savings. So there's extreme value in us sharing the savings and the work that we're doing across the country, because we really are one big happy family. We absolutely share all the good stuff that's going on with us. In fact, the information I'm reading off right now is from what we call our monthly good news memo, where we share all the good stuff that we're doing. And it's great because it's motivating. And also you can go to another franchisee and say, oh, you're working with a manufacturer in a specific space. Tell me how you did that. Tell me what you did. And we share that. And then I can take that to a manufacturer in that space that I'm thinking of trying to work with. So we really bring a lot to the table from everybody in the whole network, not just the head office and what you get from each individual franchise office.
That's amazing. And, even going back to that first example where there were 146 locations and $2.4 million was saved. That's crazy when you think about that from the aspect of not just $2.4 million, but imagine what they did to the company's bottom line.
Yeah.
And anytime that money is saved, it gives the organization so much more money now to spend in other ways and reinvest back in the business. And you and I talked about that in a previous episode about how companies can do that and how they can reinvest back into their business. But that is a pretty good chunk. Even the company in Pennsylvania that you were talking about, that company saved about $457,000. Once again, that's monies that gets reinvested back into their business in so many different ways. And it's funny because, you all save companies this very, significant amounts of money, whether it's a small business or a larger business, but it's so significant what you can save organizations inside of these areas.
Yeah, it's literally money going out the window, because I talk about this until I'm blue in the face, that it's really hard to make money. You have to jump through hoops of fire to make money. It's the money that you have to jump through hoops of fire for that you're using to pay for your expenses. So it's your profits. Your profits pays for your telecom, your credit card processing, your shipping, your waste, all these goods that you use, all these services that you need to run your business. It's coming from the profits you had to work really hard for. And what we guarantee is that you'll keep more of those profits. So that company that saved almost $2.5 million a year in their telecom expenses with 140 locations, they split that with us. So that's $2.2 million $1.2 million that they now have that they didn't have. And that's including paying us. So it's money they didn't have. And we talked last week about ways you can use it, whether you want to invest it back into equipment, staff, customer service. A thing I didn't touch on last week, you can even give it to charity. And it's a taxable, it affects your tax returns if you're giving money to charity. And you can do that with the money. You can do whatever you like with that money, but it's money that you never had because you were already spending it. And what we're guaranteeing is that all these companies, all these good news stories, they're all spending less money, including paying us.
Well, and what's interesting when you're talking about that nonprofit piece, you mentioned the nonprofit, I think it was in Virginia, that saved $110,000.
Yeah, in Virginia, $110,000.
When you look at what a nonprofit agency does to try and get a donor at that scale, like that is a lot of bells, whistles, and hard work that they're doing to try and get a donor at 100K plus. So, yeah. And once again, when you look at that, I know this from the years that I've been doing profit and loss and expense management and things like that. When you look at these things, the percentage of your sales, and you're able to drive that percentage down, and you're able to drive the sales up. It resonates into just higher profit. And you're right, it is bloody hard to go out and sell more.
Yeah, and you talked about profit and loss there. It's just what column the money's in. We effectively move it over to the other column.
Yeah.
It comes into your profit rather than it makes this column bigger numbers as opposed to the column that's taking the money away. And that's exactly what's happening. It goes directly to a company's bottom line. And that includes even adding us in as a line in that column. It's like you're adding Schoolie Mitchell in and you're paying us money, but the line at the bottom is a bigger number. Pure and simple. That's what happens when you bring us on board.
Yeah, I think that's just fascinating. And once again, I love that you all come in and you don't just do a once around visit with someone, but you really then hold on to that organization for a period of time, because we're seeing so many fluctuations happening in the business world with everything. And I'm going to finish just a little bit here. Every time we've been talking recently, you've been sharing a fun fact. And usually you and I talk a little bit beforehand about what that fun fact's going to be, but I'm going to lead you into what I think is a fun fact. You just were sharing this with me. Can you tell us a little bit about how you were in a business with your family?
Oh yeah, when I did window cleaning. when I was a kid, I was like 17. I had no business sense whatsoever. Anybody that knows me, I get educated late in life. I graduated when I was 37. Me and my brother used to have a window cleaning business. We never even had a van. We had a set of ladders, and I was the younger of the two brothers. I had to carry the ladders, and we would walk like 20 miles a day cleaning windows. I mean, like, when I think back, it was crazy. That's what we did. But we were young. We were stupid, I guess. And then we used to play in the pool leagues, and we went and spent it in beer at the weekends. But we've all lived a life, haven't we?
That's fantastic. I think that we should all look back at our years and just have fond memories like that. I love that story, and I love that that's something that you did. It's absolutely amazing. And as always, William, I want to thank you, because every time we talk, I learn something new and something different. And I hope the people that are out here watching and listening and all that are gleaning this information from you and starting to understand a little bit more about expense management and what it can do for an organization, and certainly the ability it has to turn a business into a much more profitable place. And before we go, as always, we're going to throw it to Tanya for traffic.